Hi, so I'm Liv, as we mentioned before. So I thought I'd start off by talking about my time at Eltham College, and it was an overwhelmingly positive experience. I really had a lot of fun here, and walking back today has really reminded me of a lot of the fun that I did have. And one of the things that Eltham really taught me that I have carried through my journey is the work hard, play hard balance. Because Monday to Friday, the majority of my year did really care about our academics. We did want to do well, we did want to get into a good university. But on the weekends, we were not scared to party. We had a lot of fun, and we also participated in extracurricular stuff. You can see the girls versus boys netball day there. But the eagle-eyed amongst you might notice that I was a bit of a rule bender. My skirt was too short. I often had inappropriate earrings, and I hid my nose piercing from Mr. Milne quite a lot of the time. So that sums me up as an individual. I was academic, I did want to work hard, and I did want to be successful, but I didn't necessarily want to fit into the box. Now, I'm not promoting you rule bend, and I'm not promoting bad behaviour at all, but there will be a theme throughout my talk today, and that is it. So, something about myself, a bit of self-reflection, is that when I'm keen to do something and when I'm enthusiastic about something, nothing really will stop me from doing it. I'm really keen to be successful and I will work really hard. But equally, when there's something that I don't want to do, I'm very stubborn. I'm not very motivated, and I really struggle to get motivated about things. And that, again, is something that will be a recurring theme. And I asked a few of my friends last night a couple of words they would use to describe me during my time at Eltham. Some of them weren't appropriate enough to mention today, but some of them were ambitious, inclusive, charismatic, loud, and confident. And I do think that that sums me up, especially at my time at Eltham. So, as I mentioned, when I want to do something, I work really hard, but when I don't want to do something, I struggle. And I quickly put myself into the box that I wasn't. So I took biology, chemistry, and psychology A-level. And I quickly decided that chemistry wasn't my thing. That was a complete self-diagnosis. Said, I'm not going to do well. So although I was predicted A-star, A-star A, and I had a 3A offer from Durham University, results day came around, and unfortunately, I missed my offer, and I got A-star, A-star B. No shock that the B was in chemistry. Now, I was more than capable of getting the A in chemistry, but I didn't. I didn't work hard. I prioritised biology and psychology because that's what I really enjoyed doing, and I missed my offer. And as I said, I felt really sorry for myself. Literally was crying into my pillow, didn't know what to do, felt like I'd really failed. Now, A-star, A-star B is not a bad set of A-level results at all, and yet the attitude that I had towards my university experience meant that I did think that it was a bad set because I hadn't made this offer. Now, Durham University wasn't offering me anything special other than that's where I decided that I wanted to go. I had friends that were going, I had looked at the course and I liked it. And really that was it. That was all it was for me. But because I'd missed the offer, I somehow thought already that I'd failed. My parents, being as academic and as boring as they were like, well, you've got to go into clearing, like you're going to university. And I started to push back quite quickly. I was like, no, this is not what I want to do right now. I think I want to take a break. I want to take a bit of step back. And so I had an unplanned gap year. And I said to my mum, just trust the process. I'm going to work in a bar or work in a coffee shop, and I'm going to save enough money, and I'm going to go ride some elephants in Thailand, and I'm going to find myself. And she was like, oh my goodness, this girl's lost the plot. But a couple of days later, she was having a dinner party and one of her friends came round, and in my attempt to save enough money to get to Thailand to ride the elephants, I said, look, I'll pour some champagne for you guys. And I was talking to one of her friends who said to me, oh, what are you going to do? And I said, look, I'm really interested in education, I really am. From psychology and the developmental units that I've done, I'm interested in psychology, but I'm not, and education, sorry, but I'm not ready to go and do a teacher training thing. I still think I want to go to university. Still think I want to do that. And she said, why don't you look at policy side of things? And I was like, politics, oh, that's not a bit of me. Didn't think it was anything that I could do. But I had a look nonetheless. And I had a look on the Department for Education website, and I was reading about the policy side of education and how we can shape education from the inside. And I literally stumbled across a job, and I saw the apply section, and I was like, may as well apply. The deadline was in 2 days, and I absolutely mashed together a CV. And when I say mashed together, my work experience consisted of working in a rugby club, babysitting, like nothing that would otherwise put me in a position to get the job. I sent my application off, thought nothing of it. A couple of weeks later, I was in Wales eating fish and chips on the beach, and I got a call, and it was, hello, is this Olivia Rigby? No one calls me Olivia, so I was like, I'm in trouble, what have I done? And it was the department, and they were like, you're through to the next round. We're really interested in asking you some questions about what you understand about what this job role will be. So I quickly ran to the car, locked myself in, and answered their questions. A couple of days later, I got an email. I was invited into Westminster for a panel interview. And cut a long story short, I got the job. And after working there for a couple of days, I quickly became friends with the people that I needed to become friends with. I was the youngest one there by about 20 years, which wasn't a good thing for me. But I was having a chat with my line manager and my director. And I said, just out of interest, how many people applied for this job? And much to my surprise, over 300 university graduates had applied for the role that I applied for, and they'd given it to me. I was one of 2 people who hadn't yet done a degree. And I said, what? Like, why? Why did you give it to me? Because in the interview process, they were asking me questions like, name a time that you demonstrated leadership, or name a time that you showed management opportunity. And the reality is I couldn't answer any of these questions. I was fresh out of school. I'd got off a flight from Ayia Napa a couple of weeks before. I really didn't know what I was doing. But what I did know is that I had confidence in myself, and I knew that I was someone who'd work hard, and I was really genuinely enthusiastic about the position. I knew that I was going to do it well, and as I said previously, when I put my mind to something, I will do it. And that's why they said they employed me. They said they could understand from the way that I was speaking and what I'd done, the research that I'd done about the job, that actually my willingness to learn, my wanting to seek an opportunity and go for it was exactly why they gave me the job. So I worked there for 6 months. I had an amazing time, got given some incredible opportunities, was speaking in places that I never thought were possible for an 18-year-old. And my contract ended, and I still had my heart set on riding an elephant in Thailand. And within 2 weeks, COVID had hit, and my dreams were crushed, and I couldn't go. So lockdown happened, and I'm sure a lot of you felt the same way. I was bored. I was so bored, and I'm not somebody who sits still easily. And I was like, what am I going to do? You know, I'd enrolled in university. I decided to go to Bristol to study a psychology BSc. I had no work to do. I had no job, and I was just sat there. And I got a call from a family friend who said, oh my goodness, my kid is doing my head in. I don't know what to do. He won't do his work. Can you help out? And I said, yeah, I'm a yes person. I say yes to things. So I did. For an hour a day, I sat on FaceTime with a huge whiteboard behind me, effectively playing teachers. And I started teaching for 2 hours a morning in lockdown, and that was it. Then I went to university and went to Bristol, where I'm still at now, and I carried on doing it. I was doing it Zoom, platforms like Zoom and Teams were picking up in popularity, and I was doing it in my uni halls. I was carrying on teaching. And then I thought, hold on a second, I'm actually really enjoying this. I really like it. I'm really engaging with the kids that I'm speaking to. And I started putting more effort and paying more attention to what I was doing, creating plans, bringing some of my elements of psychology into it. And it started to really pick up. I did no marketing, I had no advertising, I didn't have a website, nothing. And yet I was getting clients coming in pretty fast. And suddenly, something that I was doing in my halls room, in my bedroom, to save enough money to pay for my gym membership or go on my Saturday night out, was something that I was really enthusiastic about and actually was providing me with a lot of opportunities. And then the crisis happened. Between second and third year, which people who went to university are probably aware of, and some of you got it to look forward to, reality of real life was approaching pretty quickly, and I was like, I don't know what I want to do. I know that I'm still really interested in education, but my working in the department for 6 months made me realise quickly that I didn't want to be in a line management system. I didn't necessarily want to complete a piece of work or research that it would pass along a chain, small edits, and then someone at the top would stamp it off and claim the work as their own. It didn't suit me, and it's not something I wanted to do. And I was walking in the park, and I actually remember a conversation that happened at Eltham. So on our last day of school, one person from each form was selected to complete a questionnaire, and I was selected by Mr. Milne to do it for my form. And one of the questions on there was, where do you see yourself in 10 years? And I quite egotistically wrote the boss, right? Didn't write anything else. Mr. Milne's smiling, he remembers. And the game was that everybody in all the other forms had to guess who had written it down. And much to my surprise, nobody picked me. Nobody picked a girl. It was all boys' names that got put down. And I was like, what is that? Why is that? Why is it that, yes, it was a pretty outrageous thing to say or whatever, but why is it that I did feel confident enough to do that? And I was like, because I can see myself being the boss. I can see myself being in a situation where I'm creating the environment that I want to work in, that others want to work in, and others want to thrive in. And I noticed that tutoring and education is private education as well, is a highly saturated market. But people were leaving these big tutoring agencies to have their kids come and be taught by me. They were leaving the people that had training and experience to be taught by me. And I was like, what is it about me? Why is it that I do this? And the same characteristics about me that made me not want to wear the right sports kit at school was exactly the same reasons why people were leaving these big corporations and coming to speak to me. And again, I'm not promoting that kind of behaviour, but I'm just saying that the features that didn't get me a prefect in the school or positions like that were exactly the reasons why I now succeed. And I realised that I actually already was the boss. I was doing something very small and it was still in my bedroom, but I was the boss. And that's where Live and Learn emerged. And this is the name of the business. So rather than turning away clients when I reach capacity, I decided that I've got a pool of incredibly intelligent people around me, and I can encourage them and I can employ them and I can work with my friends and I can work with other people that I really like, and I can create an atmosphere that people want to work in. And actually, Catherine's here today, and Catherine is one of the people that works for me. I just wanted to ask you, what was the reason why you trusted in me to pay your salary?
So Liv's been my best friend since school. I also went to Elton. We were kind of in a friendship group at school, so the friendships do remain from school, I promise. And the reason I went and worked for Liv was because I had some tutoring experience before, but I personally didn't like being my own boss, and kind of Liv takes a lot of that responsibility away. She's fun to work with. I trust her, obviously, she's my best friend. So yeah, that was the main reason. Yeah, so it grew. And so this is where we're at now. I've created a business that provides a bespoke and individualised learning and development plans for children. And rather than hiding away from the fact that I'm young and that I am somebody that wants to have a laugh and fun, I've actually just harnessed that. And that's actually become one of my, I wouldn't say USP, I don't think it's quite there, but that's what I do. I employ young, enthusiastic and ambitious people. We want to work hard, we want to get the results, but we also want to have fun. And it's through doing this, through no advertising, as I say, no marketing, that I've grown from 2 clients in my first year of university to 18 in my second, and now I've got over 40 clients, and I have a team of 6 people that work for me, and I'm still doing my degree. And I think if that's not an example of seeing an opportunity, grabbing it with both hands, and just going for it, just trying, because that's what I did. And I wasn't scared, and I thought, I've got absolutely nothing to lose. And that leads me on to my next point. So, this is particularly important, I think, on International Women's Day or the week that it is this week, because women, more so than men, still tend to shy away from opportunities for fear of inadequacy or embarrassment or just feeling like you're not good enough. And I frequently ask myself, why me? You know, when I got that job, why me? Why have you employed me? Why not you? But don't ask it rhetorically. I'm not trying to be cringe. Genuinely, why not you? If you're offering a service that people are enjoying and engaging with, why not you? Why not apply for that job? Why not do that Oxford application? What are you going to lose? Probably nothing. You might just be in exactly the same position you were in before. And this is kind of the motto that I work under: confident enough, humble enough. I'd like to just explain that quickly. So I'm confident enough to know that what I do is really good. I know that I am. I work on a results basis. I've got, as I said, I've got a team of 6 people now and over 40 clients within 9 months of setting up. I know that what I do is good. But I'm humble enough to know that I'm easily replaceable, right? It's a highly saturated market. People can leave as quickly as they come. They don't necessarily need me. So I remain humble enough to know that I've got to show up, I've got to work hard, I've got to stay motivated and do all of the things that are positive features in a person. I've got to carry on doing that, but also trust myself. I'm gonna pick one of you now. You lovely lady, what's your name? Amy. If you went into a shoe shop and you saw a pair of shoes that you really, really liked, and you asked for a size 6 and it didn't fit, what would you do? You'd get a different size, right? You wouldn't chop your toes off and try and fit into the size 6, would you? And I think that's a really good example of how we are as people. So if there's a thing that's not quite working for you, get a different shoe. Find something that does work for you. Find something that does make you feel motivated enough to get up. And that's exactly what I've done. I had an amazing opportunity in the department and I really enjoyed working there. But I quickly realised that I didn't want to be in that kind of environment. I didn't want to fit into that box. So I just got a different shoe. And it's hard. It's really hard doing this sometimes, running a business, doing my final year of university, trying to maintain some kind of social life. But when I'm up until 2 a.m. invoicing or doing things like that,
and I'm really struggling, I remember this quote, and I asked one of the boys that I teach last week, I said, why do you enjoy our session so much? Why do you tell your friends at school? Why do you recommend me? And he went, nah, seriously, I'm actually not joking. Liv is the best teacher in the world. Thank you.
Does anybody have any questions for Liv? I'm sure you do.
Liv, I have one for you, and I'm sure everybody's probably thinking something similar. What's the plan when you finish university? Is this just going to get bigger and bigger?
Yeah.
Or do you think it's going to evolve in a different way?
Yeah, hopefully. So I'm lucky enough that I'm in a position where I don't have to worry about getting a proper job, as it would say. So I'm actually leaving the talk today to go and meet one of my old colleagues from the department to talk about potential government funding plans that I can get into schools. There's already been talks of investment, which is really, really exciting. So yeah, I'm just going to finish my degree, do that to the best of my ability, get that done, because I do want a good degree out of this. I've done a lot of hard work the last 3 years, and then yeah, I'm just going to put my all into it, and I can see it being my future. Yeah. Yeah.
How hard has it been to balance your degree and your business?
So as I said, I only started the business in August. So I've been teaching since the first year of university, but I started the business in August. It's tricky at times, feel like I'm juggling a lot of things, but it's rewarding, right? Because I get to pick my hours, people that work for me get to pick their hours, and that's a benefit. So if I've got a deadline approach and I can say, look, I'm not available this week, I can do that. So it's difficult, but it's rewarding. And I think sometimes you have to strike the balance between hard work. And this is something I really do believe in, and I do think it can be a success. And things that you do believe in and that you're motivated for, you just have to work hard for. And that's what I'm doing, yeah. But it is difficult, but it's fun, yeah.
Did you manage to buy the elephant?
Pardon?
Did you manage to buy
No, I didn't. I never rode an elephant in Thailand. I'll go and I'll get a picture sent into school. Yeah.
How long did it take to set up your business and to make yourself known to the outside?
So, great question. I guess it was a slow and a fast process at the same time. So, as I said, I still actually haven't done any active marketing or advertisement. And I wanted the tone of my talk today to really be that sell yourself, right? I'm a walking advertisement for myself. As long as I show up, I'm respectful, I'm hardworking, people will gravitate towards you. And I think Elliot's quote here sums it up. He goes into school and tutoring for him isn't I've got to log on to speak to my maths tutor at 8 o'clock tonight. It's not like that. He's enthusiastic and he's willing to learn and he wants to do that, and he'll go and speak to his friends at school and say, I'm struggling with maths at school. My friend's got this really great tutor or this team of really great tutors. Can we work with them? And I think that's what it is. So I think I'm at the 9-month mark now, and as I say, we're at a team of 40, and I think it'll probably be, it comes in waves. Sometimes I get a bit influx of people and sometimes it's a bit quiet, but yeah, slow and fast. Sorry, it's not the best answer in the world, but that's the truth, yes.
What's your favourite memory of Elton?
Oh, great question. Got to remember where I am though now. Favourite memory of Eltham? I think maybe one of the last days, the girls versus boys netball and rugby matches, they were fun. I just like being here a lot. Who won? Obviously the girls. Obviously.
Their money.
But yeah.
Boys now, you were very
Yeah, they were.
It was good.
But I'm not just saying this, I really genuinely did enjoy my time at Eltham. When we were walking around earlier and speaking to the teachers again, it's been really nice. And it was an overwhelmingly positive experience for me, and yeah, I really did love it, really did love it. It was the best 2 years of my life so far, I'm not joking at all. Yes.
So you had to manage a lot of adversity, things not going your way. And sometimes, as teaching at school, you have that test results, which we did do over the last 2 weeks, and pupils' faces drop as they see grades that they want to see. What would be your biggest word of advice for pupils who are going through their own adversity, through whatever it may be, exam results or life path or life direction?
Yeah, I think I'd say trust the process. So for me, it won't let me go back, but I think, so as I said, on results day, when I got that B, I was absolutely heartbroken because I'd missed my offer for the university that I'd kind of set, that was my next step. And I got quite defeatist about it. I was like, that's it, like I've done really badly. If I'd have tried hard, I would have gone. And I started really beating myself up. But then if you just look at within 3 weeks of getting my results, I was working with civil servants in a situation that I was definitely underqualified for. And I wouldn't have had that opportunity. I wouldn't have had that exposure if I'd have got the A in chemistry. So I think as much as I will promote working hard and focusing on your studies as much as you can, it really isn't the be all and end all. And I think other opportunities, as long as you don't cry on your pillow, because if you're in bed and you're crying, you're not going to see the opportunities. Get up, get out, see what's doing, get engaged in the conversations that you need to be having, show up for yourself, and I think it will work out. And I'm going to remind myself that when I get my university degree results in a couple of months' time. Yeah.
What degree are you doing?
I do psychology and neuroscience.
So did you drop biology?
Pardon?
So did you just decide not to do biology?
So I did biology A-level, but I was never going to do biology as a degree. I did enjoy it though.